gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others.
While this episode explores the gratitude phenomena, I would like to make a clear distinction that it's not about this.
Problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it.
That is about demanding gratitude versus being grateful. And they demand gratitude because they want to feel important. Because when you do something out of a kindness of your heart, you don't expect gratitude. You do it because you want to. There is no limit to what a man can do or where he can go. If he doesn't mind, who gets the credit? This is the plaque that is in the Oval Office during the Ronald Reagan times, recreation in the museum. Too bad the MAGA people so quickly forgot the wisdom of this fundamental truth. Now to the episode. I think a lot of our suffering stems from ungratefulness. Let's take Germany, for example. After the First World War, they looked like this. But they were not grateful for what they had, and so they started a war. And as a result of their ungratefulness, they started to look like this. And then look at Hungarians and Orban wearing the big Austria flag. Yeah, I mean, they lost 2/3 of their territories after the First World War. But hey, they lost that war, and Germany actually, by the way, also lost that war. So when you lose such war, you should be grateful that you are not wiped from existence, as many empires were wiped from existence, as many ethnicities through history were wiped from existence, like Prussians, Baltic tribes that were wiped out. And then when the Germanic tribes came, they took their name. That's what I mean. But Hungarians do exist. So they came from Uralus mountains, and they've got themselves a piece of land among Slavic people. And they're lasting for 1,000 years. That's a subject to be grateful for, not to be ungrateful that you've lost 2/3. After being on the losing side of history after the First World War, and then after being on the losing side again on the Second World War, you still exist. Turco-Finnish enclave right in Europe that survived for 1,000 years. That's a position of gratefulness. So now, the same way you look at Moscow Empire, as today it is called Russia, they have everything they need to be happy in their own country. They have all the resources. Like, they can even dismiss their army, just have nuclear forces, because no one would dare to invade them. They could just prosper and live richer than Qatar. They could have lived richer than Saudi Arabia. They had population with high literacy rates. They have everything in their country. And then they were ungrateful. They are ungrateful for what they have. They do not see the value of what they have. And they're like, we are not going to be happy unless we get Ukraine. We are not going to be happy unless we destroy Washington. We are not happy. Everyone wants to hurt us. Everybody wants to destroy us. Everybody wants our resources. Everybody's jealous of us.
А как вы считаете, в чем он нам завидует?
Во всем.
Завидуют нашей силе и непобедимости.
Во всем завидуют.
Все, и нашей душе русской.
Нет такой в мире страны, которой бы нам не завидовали другие остальные страны.
Завидуют.
Даже очень завидуют. Они завидуют нашей дружбе со всеми странами.
Конечно, завидует.
It's like their self-value, their self-image goes through their eyes, how others look at them. It is not valued from within. And watch how Russians are gonna lose it all. Because they are ungrateful to what they have. They take for granted what they have. Thus, they don't value it. And thus, they will squander it. Just like Hitler did with Germany. And you know, I actually have a theory that helps explain why they don't value what they have. It's because everything they have is literally stolen or appropriated, even their name. But anyway, that's different. I was talking about gratefulness. And while I was thinking about this subject, I started to think about Hitler's actions. And like, this guy was actually pretty good for Germany. It's just that Aryan superiority bullshit. If he would just get rid of that, and thus if he would think everyone is equal, he wouldn't need to repress people and genocide anyone. Everyone's equal, right? German people are equal. If Hitler would just have that appreciation for what Germany had, it looks like he wanted to do good for Germany, but he ended up, because of his ungratefulness, doing worse. What if Hitler would be grateful, right? Could there exist a grateful tyrant without the repressions and trying to blame others for your own failures, or to acknowledge, recognize your failures and promise to people that you will improve? Can there exist such tyrant, such form of society? Singapore is often described as benevolent dictatorships. Benevolent dictatorships. You cannot chew a gum or you cannot talk loud in subway, and maybe more things. I've been to Singapore, it's great. Benevolent dictatorships, hey, that's just the wild card. I'm sure there's much more people that have thought of that. Grateful tyrant is a paradoxical concept. A truly grateful leader in a deeper sense of the word would likely not be a tyrant because genuine gratitude fosters humility, fairness, and a sense of responsibility towards others, all of which are incompatible with tyranny. So basically, grateful tyrant, I think it's like an oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech that juxtaposes? What is that word? Concept with opposite meanings within a word or in a phrase. So it's basically like saying a living dead or quiet scream or honest Russian. Those things really contradict each other. Tyrant implies absence of benevolence. Otherwise, this person would not become a tyrant.